All right, court's on the record, Commerce City Municipal Court for the afternoon session of September 30th of 2021. For the people on Zoom, please leave your devices on mute. I will have you unmute when I'm ready to call your case. For the people in the courtroom, when I call your name, I'm going to bring you up to one of the 3 stations in the front. While you're at the station, please just speak loudly and clearly. Don't touch the microphones. Just speak up and you should be fine. One of the responsibilities I have is to record everything that you say. After you're done, I'll direct you to see my clerks in the lobby. Their windows are located to the left once you've exited through the courtroom at the back of the courtroom. When you go out the back, don't go out through the metal detector. Make the left before the metal detector, and that'll get you to my clerk's windows. Andrew Cordova, where are you at? Okay, you actually don't need to come forward. Go ahead and just stand up. City attorney satisfied that you successfully completed the conditions of the diversion. I'm going to dismiss your case. 2 things. 1, you still can never go back into the Walmart store in Commerce City. Do you understand that? All right. 2, when you go to the windows, they'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. If you want to have the record of this case sealed, ask my clerks. They can give you information on how to file a petition to seal. I'm going to make a note on your file that says if I get that petition, I'm going to order your case sealed. Do you have any questions? All right, go to the window, see my clerk. All right, Jeremiah Bataya, where are you at? Okay, can you hear me okay from there? All right, give me a second while I pull up your file. Your case is being dismissed too. Give me just a moment. And your parent is here as well? Where's your parent? Okay. Go ahead and have a seat. I'll recall your case after I do this other one. Okay. Adrian Myers, if you would come to station number 2, that's the lectern right in the middle. Good afternoon. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with, give me a second. First, I have a request to set aside a default that entered when you failed to appear back on September 17th. I'll grant that request. I'll set aside the default. Second document I have says that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, a 0-point violation, complete 24 hours of use of public service, and a level 1 driving class, then the original speeding charge from July 13th of 2021 at 10 o'clock at night in the area of 63rd and Highway 85 will be dismissed. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Yes, do you have a parent with you? Yes. That parent needs to come forward.
Okay, yeah.
Good afternoon. And you're his mother? Yes. What's your name? Your last name again? T-E-R-R. Oh, terrazas. Okay. All right. And did you understand what I was explaining to Adrian is being offered to him? Okay, so let me walk you through this. Do you recognize that he was charged with a speeding violation of 69 and a 45 back on July 13th of this year? And the city attorney is offering him a 0-point violation, but it's going to require him to do another class and 24 hours of community service. Okay, do you believe that Adrian is acting in his best interest by accepting this resolution to his case and pleading guilty to this reduced charge? All right, thank you. Adrian, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, ma'am, you can go ahead and stay up here with him. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of the rights that you were advised of in that video, both trial and appeal-related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, a 0-point offense on, let me see this date, July 13th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Is there anything you want to tell me about your son that I should take into consideration? Just some use of our liquor, and that night he was actually at work, coming home, and he's a good student. All right, your driving record shows a ticket from Adams County. All right, that's fine. It's not an aggravating factor. All right, I'm going to impose the following. A fine of $160. I'm going to suspend half of it, $80, because I am going to order that you do 24 hours of community service and a level 1 driving class. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk, they're going to work out the payment arrangements for the non-suspended portion of the fines and court costs. That's $80 plus surcharges plus court costs. They're going to give you a referral to the people that put on the class. You'll have a deadline of about 6 weeks to get that done. Call them right away, get the class done, and then this time apply the lessons that they teach you in the class to your driving so that you don't have to keep showing up in court and it's not going to keep costing you money. My clerks are going to give you the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that when you do the community service, it must be done at a legitimate nonprofit agency, okay? So pick a place that you like to volunteer at so that it's less like punishment. Make sure it's a nonprofit, do the work, have them fill out the form, turn that in to my clerks before the deadline. If you do all of that, everything's going to be okay because this isn't going to cost you your license, okay? Do you have any questions about what's expected of you? Do you have any questions? All right, if you'll go to the windows, my clerks will take care of doing all of that for you. Okay, Jeremiah Bataya, is your parent there? Again, you don't have to come forward. City Attorney, just stay right there. Make sure you can hear me. And are you his mother? Yes. Okay, good. Let me call the case up. All right, the city attorney is satisfied that you successfully completed the diversion, so I'm going to enter an order dismissing this case. If you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerk, they'll give you a copy of that order, and then you can, then you're free to leave. Any questions? Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about to run out. All right. Court's going to be in brief recess here while I do a hearing in my office. For the people on Zoom, please be patient. I'll take care of your cases when I come back after this brief hearing.
I know. That's all right.
All you can do is try.
Yeah.
So Casey Pavlik, his attorney is
Here it is. All right, Casey Pavlik or Attorney Busby, could you unmute your device, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you Mr. Pavlik?
Yes, sir.
Do you have an attorney named Busby on your case?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Miss Busby, I didn't see you over there. I'm sorry. Miss Busby, I have a document that indicates that if Mr. Pavlik pleads guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from August 18th of 2021 at 11:17 in the morning in the area of 84th and Tower Road. Miss Busby, is that a correct statement of the proposed disposition?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Busby, could I have your registration number?
53471?
53471?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pavlik, first, did you understand the proposed disposition that's been worked out on your behalf?
Yes, I do.
Have you had enough time to speak to Ms. Busby regarding the options available to you on the original charge in this case?
Yes, I have.
Are you satisfied with the service, advice, and representation that she's given you thus far in this matter?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. And did she review the rights that you have with regard to trial, appeal, all of the rights related to this case?
Yes.
All right. Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation under Colorado law, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Ms. Busby, will you waive the necessity of the establishment of a factual basis to support this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything by way of mitigation?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Pavlik, is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
All right. There's no prior history in Colorado. Your schedule fine's $120. Were you coming from the airport when you picked up this ticket?
Yeah, I had just gotten off the flight and rented a car.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with out-of-state people moving along Tower Road, not recognizing that it's a 45.
Yeah.
All right, your schedule fine in this case is $120. I'm going to reduce your fine to $60 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerk is going to reach out to both you and Ms. Busby by email. My clerks will tell you what the total is with all the surcharges and court costs added to it, and if you need to, she'll work out a payment arrangement for you. Do you have any questions, Mr. Pavlik?
No, sir.
Ms. Busby, is there anything else I need to address in this case?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you can both leave the meeting. Just keep an eye out for that email. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I once again have to go off the record. This time it will be brief while I deal with the hearing in my office. cleaned all three while I was gone, right?
Correct.
All right, good. All right, court's back on the record. Regarding Alaba Philemon Olani, if you would come to station number 1. This says an attorney Martin.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is also appearing virtually today.
Okay, you were in the wrong file, that's all. Okay, give me just a second. All right, and Mr. Martin, could you give me your registration number?
Yes, Your Honor. It's 51991.
51991?
Yes.
All right. The proposed disposition, oh no, would you waive further reading and advisement regarding the original charge in this matter?
Yes, Judge.
It looks like we're sending this matter over for discovery. Is that correct?
That's correct. I think we did receive the video, and I just received the discovery yesterday. It was uploaded into my client's file yesterday. So I just need a little time to discuss it with him, and we did receive an offer today as well.
All right. How does October 28th at 1:15 work for you?
Just a moment. That should be fine.
Okay, we'll set this matter over for a pretrial conference. Mr. Olani, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I want to make sure that you stay in close contact with Mr. Martin so that you and he are prepared, and maybe we can resolve this at the next date on October 28th at 1:15. My clerk is going to send a notice as a reminder to you as well as to Mr. Martin with regard to the new court date and time, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Martin. You and Mr. Olani, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right. The court's on the record now regarding Dominic Montoya. And Ms. Murtha, if you would unmute your device. Oh, see, that's what happened is they swapped who was here and who was in Zoom. Station 1, please. Okay, give me a moment while I pull up the ticket. They just put each one of the ones with the attorneys in the wrong pile. If that's the worst thing that happens today, that's a good day. All right, here's what I've got in this case. I have a document that indicates that the city attorney is adding a second count of harassment. The original charge from May 29th of 2021 at 7:51 in the morning in the area of 64th and Monaco Street will be dismissed. The city attorney is making recommendations that as part of the sentence that I impose be that he complete 24 hours of community service, making better choices class, have no contact with Christopher Vera, and obviously I'm going to add that he commit no new law violations other than routine traffic offenses in Commerce City for a period of 1 year from today's date. Is that consistent with your understanding of the proposed disposition, Ms. Murtha? All right. Mr. Montoya, first, do you understand the original charge that was filed against you in this case? Do you understand the additional charge that the city attorney is adding as a proposed disposition in this case? Do you also understand the conditions in terms of what he's recommending as part of the sentence that I impose against you? And is this what you want to do today? Have you had enough time to consult with Ms. Murtha with regard to the options available to you on the original charge in this case? Are you satisfied with the service, advice, and representation that she's given you thus far in this matter? Did you review all of the rights that you have that applied to the original charge in this case, including all trial and appeal-related rights? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this added charge, you're waiving all of those trial and appeal-related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge, actually this alternative charge, against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added charge of harassment on May 29th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? And Ms. Murtha, would you waive the necessity of the establishment of a factual basis to support this plea? With that, I will accept his guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences, and with full representation by competent counsel in this matter. Anything by way of mitigation? Thank you. Mr. Montoya, anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? All right. Here's the way my protection order is going to read in this case. I am going to order that he's not to have any contact with Mr. Vera. He's not to harass, annoy, alarm, molest, or in any other way retaliate against him. So he would have to know who it is in order to violate that order. Okay. I am going to impose and suspend a 10-day jail sentence. The entire jail sentence is suspended on the following conditions. One, the protection order I just covered. 2, I am going to order 24 hours of community service. I am going to order the adult making better choices class. I am going to impose a fine in this case, and it's the minimum fine, $50, plus surcharges, plus court costs, and an additional condition of the suspended jail sentence is that he's to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations in Commerce City for a period of 1 year. Now, I recognize that the feelings that he has for this, but I'm sure you discussed for him the long-term implications the original charge would have had. So I believe that there is some need for the court to maintain assurances that he's law-abiding at least for the next year. Excuse me, can you try to keep the child a little bit quieter? Thank you. Or an alternative would be to go into the hallway, tell the bailiff what your name is, and they'll call you back into the courtroom when your case is called. All right, Mr. Montoya, I apologize for the interruption, but I need to make a clear record, and I'm sure that baby was being caught by my microphones. All right, so again, 10 days in jail, all of it is suspended, so you don't spend any time in jail. On the conditions that you complete the 24 hours of community service, when you go to the windows, my clerks are going to give you the form. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not need to be done in Commerce City, okay? The only requirement that I make is that you must do it at a legitimate nonprofit agency. You're a young person, so my suggestion to you to make it less like punishment is find something that interests you. If you already attend a church, do it at your church. If you like animals, do it in an animal shelter, the wildlife center, some equivalent like that. Like, you know, you want to do Meals on Wheels, food banks, anything like that. Find something that interests you so that it's less like punishment. Just make sure that the place that you pick is a legitimate nonprofit agency. Some senior center places are private businesses and they don't qualify. So make sure the place that you pick is a legitimate nonprofit, do the work, have them fill out the form, turn that in by the deadline, and he'll have 6 weeks initially to do it, okay? My clerks are going to give you the referral to the Making Better Choices class. Contact them right away. Again, you'll have about 6 weeks in which to turn in the certificate of completion. Get that done. With regard to Mr. Vetta, it's really simple. You may not recognize him. In order to violate my order, you would have to recognize him because I'm ordering you not to harass, annoy, alarm, molest, or retaliate against him in any way. That's not inadvertent contact. Inadvertent contact doesn't count, okay? And then don't do anything new. Don't pick up any new cases because if you pick up a new case and in any way suggests to me that you're harassing another person or doing anything at all that even touches on a case like this, you're going to be starting with a 10-day jail sentence in the Adams County Jail, okay? And again, the only reason that suspended sentence is so low is you have no prior criminal history. If you pick up another case, that's not going to apply to you anymore. Do you understand that? All right. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you? Ms. Murtha, is there anything else that I need to address? Okay. When you go to the windows, they'll work out all of that stuff. If you need some time to be able to pay the fine and court costs, my clerks will work out with you as well, okay? All right, go to the windows. Thank you very much for your work on this, Ms. Murta. Priscilla Garcia, is that the person I just sent out into the hall? If you would go to station number 2, please. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that alleges that on August 11th of 2021, at about 11 o'clock in the morning, in the area of 60th and Highway 85, bad intersection to start with, it's alleged that you engaged in careless driving. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? It's my understanding that you wish to plead not guilty to committing this offense. Is that correct? All right, give me just a moment. Did you watch the advisement of rights video? All right. I'm going to enter your not guilty plea. We'll schedule your case for a trial to the court. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they'll give you the notice of the trial date and time. If there's any witnesses that you wish to have present on the date of your trial that you believe will not appear in court voluntarily, ask my clerks. They'll issue subpoenas for you free of charge. They'll explain how that subpoena needs to be served on your witness in order to have them effectively ordered to appear on the date of your trial. If you wish to get copies of the police officer's notes or the reports related to your case, ask my clerk. They'll provide those to you as well. If there are body camera recordings, my clerks will need you to provide some sort of email address so that they can provide them to you electronically. They're not stored on disks or drives. It's all digital these days. So they'll be able to do that. And you can request those at any time, okay? All right, do you have any questions? All right, so we'll enter your not guilty plea, go to the windows, see my clerks. I guess it would be quicker if I was better with my mouse or my pointer. All right, Sierra Gordy, if you would come to station number 3, please. And you are now 18, correct? Okay. Are you her mother? Yes. Okay. You can go ahead and be up there with her, but technically, she no longer needs you to come to court with her. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, the city attorney says that you've completed the class. You need more time to do the community service. Is that correct? All right, we're going to reset your case for another pretrial conference date and time. My clerks will give you a new form showing you the new deadline. Make sure to get it done so we can close this out. I'm not going to postpone it again. So you're going to have about 30 days to get this done, okay? Do you have any questions? All right, go to the window, see my clerk. Did you have a question regarding that sentence?
Yeah, you didn't write the stuff, but you wrote it above.
See above, yeah.
Like, what? That was me.
No, I've been doing that when it's all the same thing. Why rewrite?
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it, so.
Well, you haven't been sitting here much on criminal days then. All right, Tyler Garcia, if you would unmute your device, please. I'm not muted, am I? Nope, I'm not. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, Mr. Garcia, do you have I'm assuming that's your parent that you have with you?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to speak a little bit louder or turn your volume up just a little bit.
Okay.
Much better, thank you. All right, and give me one moment. What?
So it's posted on the one you set for trial. You accepting the.
Yeah. I didn't realize that because you write no objection on there? Okay. Let me have that back so I can write down the default is vacated. Okay. All right, I have a document that, okay, before I go, you're his mother, correct?
Yes,
And could you tell me your name, please?
it's Christina, Kristina Garcia.
All right, I have a document that indicates that if Tyler pleads guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from August 28th of 2021 at about 11:35 in the morning in the area of 82nd and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Tyler, is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Ms. Garcia, do you understand the original charge filed against your son?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand the reduced charge that the city attorney is offering your son in an effort to resolve this case?
Yes.
Do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by accepting this resolution and pleading guilty to this reduced charge?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Tyler, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you are waiving all of those trial and appeal related rights that I advised you of in that video?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, on August 28th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
Is there anything you want to tell me about your son that I should take into consideration?
No, sir.
You got to at least say he's a good kid.
He is a good kid.
Okay, thank you. All right, this looks like it's your first ticket of any type. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, your schedule fine's $120. I'm going to reduce it to $60 plus surcharges plus court costs because it's your first offense. But you're going to have to listen to a speech that I'm going to give you for a second here. Until you've engaged in daily driving for 3 years, you pose a much higher risk of either getting into or causing an accident than a more experienced driver. National Traffic Safety Board has all kinds of statistics on that. So the thing I tell young people is that when you get behind the wheel of a car, especially somebody as young as you are, you only have one goal, and that's to get to where you're going safely. Everything else is secondary to that. One of the mistakes that young people make now that they've got this newfound freedom and can drive themselves to places is they tend to rush. You got school, you got work, you've got practice, you've got friends to meet, you got things to do, and you're always rushing from place to place. The first mistake that young people make is they try to make up for lost time in their car. If you're running late when you first get into your car, accept the fact that you're going to arrive late. Never rush in your car. Never try to make up for the lost time by driving. That's how you get speeding tickets, and that's how you get into more accidents or cause accidents, by rushing. You're too new of a driver to do that. Again, your top priority is to get to where you're going safely, and you do that by paying attention to things like how much room you're giving the car in front of you, anticipating the green light turning to yellow and turning to red, not getting distracted by the music, your cell phone, your friends in the car, the food you're eating, or the drink you're drinking. Don't let any of those distractions affect you until you become a much more experienced driver. And even some of those things, I mean, I can't tell you how many people are appearing in front of me getting in accidents because they're checking their phone while they're driving. You got to not do stuff like that. Just focus on your driving, okay?
Okay.
All right. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They're going to tell you the total. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Is there anything else I need to address with your son, Ms. Garcia?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you all can leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
You as well.
All right, Mr. Jernigan, I'm calling Giovanni Hall.
Good afternoon, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead and make your entry.
Yes, for the record, this is Hayden Jernigan, attorney registration number 54160. I'm appearing on behalf of Giovanni Hall. We'll be requesting a waiver of appearance of Mr. Hall's presence today.
All right, Mr. Jernigan, the proposed disposition I have is that if on behalf of Mr. Hall, you tender plea of guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against him. Is that your understanding of the proposed disposition?
Yes, Judge, and I do have authority to enter that disposition on Mr. Hall's behalf.
All right. I will accept that you've represented the court. You have that authority. You've waived his appearance pursuant to 16-7202. I have to do this since we're doing this on recording. On behalf of Mr. Hall, with regard to the added charge of improper lane use of 3-point violation on August 13th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Judge.
I'll accept the plea on behalf of Mr. Hall. Anything by way of mitigation?
Yes, Judge. At the time of the incident, well, firstly, Judge, Mr. Hall is employed as a senior pharmacist, so he's been doing this a while, and he's providing a heavy contribution to the medical field. Additionally, Judge, just a little bit of factual situation. I believe just before this incident, Mr. Hall had just purchased a 2020 Tesla, and so I can understand the sentiment that he has to kind of push that car to the limit upon the first purchase. He has since swapped that vehicle with his wife's vehicle to kind of keep him at a fair, prudent, and reasonable speed. And then in addition,
his wife's vehicle isn't a Corvette, he should be fine.
yes, Joe, I don't have information on what vehicle his wife was driving, but I'm assuming it doesn't have the same torque as an electric vehicle. In addition to swapping the vehicles, Judge, he did go out and proactively complete an ISAE Level 1 responsible driver's course, the certificate of which I do have before me right now. I'm staring at it. Would the court like a copy of that, me to send a copy of that?
I'll accept your representation. That's fine.
Thank you, Judge. And then beyond that, there's nothing further. I appreciate your time.
All right, the only other aggravating factor I have is that in March of this year, he picked up a ticket in Brighton. All right, that makes his fine $200. I will note, I'll give him the same discount for doing the class pursuant to my order as he would have gotten. And
Hello?
I'll lower his, sir, whoever's saying hello, we can hear you, but I'm doing another hearing. Please mute your device until I call your case.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
That's okay. All right, Mr. Jernigan, again, his schedule fine's $200. I'm going to lower it to $100 plus surcharges plus court costs. My clerks will send you an email telling you what the total is, and if you need them to, or your client needs them to, they can work out a payment plan for him. Okay?
Very well, Judge. And is that going to be due by this afternoon? I just want to make sure he's got plenty of time.
No, they'll provide you a state of execution.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, Judge. You have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Angeli Madrid, if you would come to station number 1. Good afternoon. All right, this matter is on the arraignment docket. I'm sorry, no, pretrial docket, and it looks like looks like you need more time. 1, to get the proof of the completion of the community service. 2, the class is scheduled for October 22nd. So it's basically all the same conditions. You just need to bring in that proof. Is that correct? Are you going to be able to get it out of the car? Are you going to be able to get the proof out of the car?
Yeah, I'm getting my car today. It just got so last night, so it was just around the place on time.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to set this out probably to October 28th, but I'll let my clerk pick a date that's out far enough. All of the conditions are the same. Okay? So if you'll go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll give you a reminder notice of the new court date. They'll give you another referral to the class showing the extension of the deadline. We'll just go ahead and give you another community service form with the deadline, just in case you can't find the one that's in the car. Okay? Any questions? Do you have any questions? Mm-hmm. The restitution? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm not as concerned about you getting that part done because we can work out a payment plan for that. I want to get everything else resolved though, okay? All right, go ahead and go to the window, see my clerk. Was she working at one of the two rec centers from here in Commerce City? Uh-huh. Okay, I know, but you were working for the city? Okay, great, thank you. Go ahead and go to the windows. We'll reset this for another pretrial. Leah Madrid, if you'll go ahead and come to station number 2. Why weren't you here on August 19th? Mm-hmm. So you're her mother too? Okay. All right, the city attorney is electing to dismiss this case. Because of your age on the date of the commission of this offense, it's going to be expunged from your record. I'm going to waive the warrant fee, but there's a $30 fee that got put into place to block your ability to get a driver's license until this is taken care of. I am going to hold you responsible for paying the $30, okay? It's called an Ojw Clearance Fee. Whenever juveniles fail to appear on court dates, the court puts a block against her license, and looking at the record, it looks like that happened back in August. And we waited actually until September 8th. And since it's already been sent, we need to clear it. That's what costs $30, okay? You pay it to us, we pay it to them, okay? So if you go to the windows, my clerks will give you a copy of the order of dismissal. We can't expunge it until that $30 fee is done. Once you pay that $30, then it'll get removed from your record, okay? Any questions? Yeah, you just pay it here. Thank you. The warrant fee is waived. John Wolmer, if you would unmute your device.
I'm unmuted, Your Honor.
Okay. This matter is scheduled for a trial today. Trials have to be done in person.
My apologies, Your Honor. I did not understand that.
All right. So I'm going to continue this case, reset it for a new court date and time. My clerks will reach out to you by email, letting you know what that new court date and time is. Obviously, the 91-day right to a speedy trial begins anew from today's date because obviously you're not present in open court today to proceed to trial.
Yes, sir.
So it'll be, we're setting it much quicker than that. But we'll reset the case for a trial to the court. You'll get a notice by email. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. I just need to be in person.
Yes, you need to be here in person.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your understanding.
Okay, not a problem. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
All right, any witnesses present on Walmart are hereby released from their subpoenas. Eva Arguello, if you would unmute your device.
I'm here.
All right, this matter is scheduled for a pretrial conference. The city attorney is agreeing to give you more time to get the class done and the community service done. Is that how you wish to resolve your case for today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to reset your case for another pretrial conference. You need to jump on getting that class scheduled so you can get it done by the new court date and to get the community service done. My clerks will send you a new referral to the class, give you a new community service form. Make sure you get that done on or before the next court date. Do you have any questions?
I have the class scheduled for the 12th of this month.
Of October?
So that's already scheduled. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because this is still September 30th. So you have it scheduled for October 12th?
Yes.
Okay, how much more time do you need to get the community service done?
I probably could get it done in the next 2-3 weeks.
We'll just make sure that we set the next hearing date after your class date and after 3 weeks, okay?
Yeah, because I gotta save it for a day off that I'm going to be getting here soon.
All right, so we'll reset your pretrial conference in about 30 days. My clerks will reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow with the new date, with the new referral showing the extended deadline for the class, and a new community service form, okay?
I would appreciate that. Thank you so much, Your
All right,
Honor.
you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Tyler Lockhart, if you would unmute your device.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from September 4th of 2021 at about 8 o'clock in the morning in the area of 7200 block of I-270 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you are waiving all of those trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation on September 4th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
All right, your driving record shows a ticket from October of last year in Thornton. Is that entry correct?
Yes.
All right, your schedule fine's $160. I'm going to go ahead and reduce it back down to $120, plus surcharges, plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email, either later today or sometime tomorrow. They'll tell you what the total is, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Just keep an eye out for that email, all right?
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Kayla Molina, if you would unmute your device, please. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Okay, I show that you have a class scheduled on October 12th, and you still owe the 16 hours of community service as well. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, we really need you to get these two things done. We'll go ahead and reset your case for another pretrial. It'll obviously be after October 12th. We'll give you about 30 days to get this all done, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
So my clerks will give you the new court date. They'll give you another referral to the class showing the extended deadline. They'll give you another community service form showing, again, the extended deadline. And again, just stay away from Mr. Bartlett. Don't pick up any new cases, and everything will be all right the next time I see you, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay. All right, Max Lewis, are you on the phone? Is he still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm good. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'll address the warrant that issued when you failed to appear. The city attorney says he has no objection to me canceling that warrant and then dismissing this case. I'm going to go ahead and waive the warrant fee for you, but I've got to tell you, I'm making a note that you can't get into any more new trouble here in Commerce City from now on. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor, I sure do.
All right. So the email that you used to sign up for today's hearing, my clerks will send you a copy of the order of dismissal to that address. All right?
Yes, sir, I thank you.
All right. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay, I thank you. Have a wonderful day, sir.
You too. Am I wrong, or has everyone who has been scheduled for this afternoon already shown up?
Yes, you're correct.
Wow. How often does that happen? Okay. Have you cleaned since the last time I called people up?
You were on.
I think we're still, 3 is open.
On one. Nobody's been to.
Yeah, there were. The young
Oh,
woman
the
and the
other
grandmother. So it's the number 3, right. Andrew Causey, if you and your parent would come to station number 3, please. And it's the middle microphone is the one we're using. Keep going. Of the 3 microphones there, it's the one in the middle. That's it. Don't touch it, just stand near it. city attorney is elected to dismiss this case. It is a mutual combat case. I don't know what the history is on social media. Are you aware that these people were communicating by social media, your son and the other guy? Okay, you might want to monitor your son's social media use in the future. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this case, and because of his age, I'm going to go ahead and have it ordered expunged from his record pursuant to state law. There's a gap in time between today and that happening. But again, this case is being dismissed. You should monitor your son's social media. And Andrew, never go someplace to agree to fight somebody. If you are where you're supposed to be, then you're the victim of the case. If you go someplace else, you've lost that status. Do you understand that? All right, don't do this again, because it can affect your school records, and eventually it can affect all of the other records that you have in a case. All right? Yeah. Excuse me, bailiff, we actually don't want people sitting in those chairs. They can actually wait in the chairs over here, except for the ones that are just about ready to go in. You two can go ahead and go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerk. They'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. Thank you. And we have the chairs on this side socially distanced for a reason, and once they get over there, it doesn't comply with our rules anymore. All right, thank you. So yeah, just the one group that's waiting can be over there. Everybody else needs to wait in the main body. need you to clean the stations. Yep. I know. All right. Saldana and Parent, if you would come to station number 1, please. And are you Maria Aldana? Okay. All right, I have